talk about the sushi culture in Japan. In Japanese, you say osushi. As some of you may already know, this is our go-to sushi spot that my family and I love. It's called Tatsuro Sushi. Get a lot of questions all the time for the best sushi in Tokyo or Japan, and that's a really difficult question because there's so many good sushi spots. Like for example, you may know about Sushi Jiro. He's super popular worldwide. Of course, people know about him in Japan, but I've actually never tried his sushi, neither has my family, and that's because there's so many other spots that are equally as good. By the way, by any means, I'm not trying to discredit Sushi Jiro. I'm sure his sushi is delicious. But what I am trying to say is that there are so many other amazing alternatives, so I wouldn't be super hyper focused on getting a reservation at Sushi Jiro if it doesn't work out. Anyways, for sushi, I typically like to eat it with my hands. This one has baby squid or ika in Japanese. It's really up to you and your preference. You can eat it with your hands or use chopsticks. But if you do use your hands, make sure to wipe it off with the oshibori, which is the wet towel. So I typically like to clean my hands after each piece so that my fingers are always clean. For drinks, I typically like to drink beer or Japanese sake. Also, if and whenever you have the chance, I would recommend sitting at the sushi counter or the sushi bar, especially if you're ordering omakase. And by the way, one thing that you shouldn't be using your hands would be something like this egg or the okura or the okra. Any pickled veggies like the ginger, you should always use your chopsticks. Also, people say that this way that I'm dipping my sushi into the soy sauce is the wrong way. Technically, people say that this is the correct way of eating osushi, which is to flip the sushi upside down so that you only dip the fish side into the soy sauce. Yes, this method works, but honestly, it's not a big deal, so don't worry too much about it. Let me just take a second to appreciate this beauty. This is fatty tuna or chutoro. It looked amazing and it tasted even better. And this one is uni. Uni is uni in Japanese, so there's no translation there. One thing I want to say about omakase. Omakase in Japanese means to leave it up to the other person. So omakase means that you're leaving it up to the chef to decide on the course menu. If you have any allergies or things that you can't eat, I would recommend letting the chef know so they can swap that out for another option. Some sushi spots will only have omakase and no other a la carte option. Like for example, I heard that Sushi Jiro doesn't let you order anything outside of the omakase menu. But in most cases, you can order the pieces individually and you don't always have to go with the omakase option. If you can, I would recommend my besties to get the omakase option just because it's easy and you tend to get the best fish selection of the day. After you finish eating, you get another piece of oshibori or wet towel. You will always have green tea or some kind of hot tea with osushi at any place that you go to. Here, they will always give you ice cream as dessert, which I love. I always end my meal with hot tea, which also helps with their digestion. You may think it's a stereotype since I am Japanese. Since sushi is my favorite food ever,